So this little girl from South Africa goes to the Big Apple. How was
Yeah.
your first reaction like the minute you landed at JFK and then now you're into the jungle of New York?
Jerome, I was like, now that I am here, I have to make ends meet. Come rain, come sunshine. As long as I have God by my side, I have to make ends meet. Yeah, and it was like a really nice experience. Tall buildings, the pace, like everything
energy.
hits differently.
I know,
it hits
it does,
differently.
it does.
And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't, until now, I still can't believe it.
Do you ever
Yeah.
feel like you're just living in a movie?
Yeah.
Because I remember the time that I was in
Yeah.
New York, I felt like I was just in a movie. Like I felt like it's just a movie happening the whole time.
Exactly, because it's a different world. I know, like, back home there are things that are good that are not there, but at the end of the day, for fashion modeling, New York is the home.
It's amazing. It's the
the
home.
home.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely the home.
Yeah, every model wants to take a bite of that big apple because at the end of the day, the check is different.
I
It
know, 'cause
weighs
you guys are always
different.
working non-stop.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that the minute Aketch Joy Winnie moved to New York, the market loved you.
Yeah, the market
absolutely. Like it was a huge transition from South Africa to, New York.
Exactly.
So what was some of your favorite jobs in New York City? The
So-
jobs that just blew you away and you kept feeling like, oh my God, am I really living the dream?
I know, so like Marc Jacobs, Hugo Boss, Jason Moore, Laura Mercier. I've worked for quite so many. I even forget them
I know because
now.
there's so many, you've literally been
Yeah.
working non-stop all the time.
And I'm really grateful because God has blessed me to work with really good brands in New York. And for some reason, while in South Africa, I had started to feel low self-esteem.
I get
I
that.
thought maybe I'm not model enough. But then New York made me realize that, well, every model has a different market. If South Africa didn't work for you, it doesn't mean like New York won't work for you. It doesn't mean Germany won't work for you. So it was really amazing because I love New York. I love New York because I work in New York and it feels like home.
I know. So you literally adjusted and now you're very
Yeah.
okay living there.
Yeah, exactly.
How do models live in New York? Do you have like your own apartment? Are you in the model house? Or you are the ones that we see that probably fly to LA and then the next day they are, in New Jersey, the next day they're in Washington, DC. How is life like?
Yeah, so when I had just moved to New York, I was living in the model house because that's the
Like standard procedure.
Yeah, and it's also safer. You
True.
can't just go and then, or you're already renting out, you don't know that people. Yeah, so I first lived in the model house for like a year, and then this year I went out.
Amazing. Meaning
Yeah,
that
I
the
had
paychecks are
matured.
great.
Financially.
Like financially, you're killing it.
But actually, Jay, you find that the model house are more expensive.
True.
And you're sharing, you don't
Sure.
have your personal space.
True.
So it's even more effective and convenient to find your space, and then you're able to save more. You can shoot your videos freely, you can move in the house the way you want without worrying like, oh, I'm inconveniencing someone's space.
Yes.
So some models like own like apartments, full apartments, some rent out rooms, and it's just like manageable, if you're a hard worker and
It's
if
very
you're smart,
expensive,
you work
like
smart.
really, really expensive. Yeah.
You just have to work smart and know what brought you there.
So many people that are watching must be, thinking New York is just a bed of roses.
Yeah.
Like literally, the minute you get into the Big Apple, Marc Jacobs is booking you. All these huge campaigns will just keep flowing in left, right, and center. How is the industry like in New York?
So New York is very competitive because it's the high fashion capital.
Yes.
Meaning every model from all over the world is
Has
heading
to
to New York.
Right there, yes.
You're gonna find like 10 people who kind of look like you.
Ooh.
They outcompete you to some extent. So as a model, you have to have your A game on. You have to make sure, okay, this is my strong point, and I'm going to make it work for my good. The imperfections, the perfections, you hold them together and make them work for your good. Because the models there are sharp, even a
Very.
16-year-old, even
Sure.
a 15-year-old. So it's very competitive, and if you're gonna sit down and think it's Uganda, they tell you to arrive at 8, you arrive at 9, you're gonna miss
The
opportunities.
level of professionalism is something
Yeah,
else.
yeah, and I love it because people are so professional. JMM is a very, very professional mother agent for life.
Thank you so much. So what are some of the problems that models in New York do face a lot?
Yeah.
That you believe, they're not just specifically problems that a lot of models in New York do face, but then generally international models. Because all we see is the covers, the editorials, the work, the campaigns, and we think, oh, you guys are living the life. Do you guys ever face any problems?
We do. Rejection is hard because even for daily lives, when you get rejected by someone, it hurts. And here you're getting rejected every single day. You go for like 100 castings and 99 of them say no. So you find that at the end of the day, you're prone to be depressed. You're prone to feel bad about yourself. You're prone to question your physique and everything. So rejection is something that every model faces, and it hurts, and it's very important to see how you can handle that rejection. Then another thing is racism and stuff. Though these days it's not so like very pronounced, it's more psychological, it's more hidden, but if you see it, you can know, because there are moments you go on set and then you are doing a job with the same model, the same agency, and maybe the model whom you've worked with the same amount of years so far, and they are paid differently because of their color, and you're paid differently. So at the end of the day, you find that it's not fair. You feel it isn't fair.
Having spoken about all that, you have a foundation as well that you work with, that is your own personal foundation. Because I keep telling this to so many models out there, so many creators, that it's very important to have a heart for humanity as well. It's not just about the bag. Tell us more about that foundation and how you've impacted on that foundation using the platform that you have as a fashion model.
So I officially started the foundation last year during lockdown, and it's called Little Hands of Grace. You can find them on Instagram, on TikTok, and Facebook. So over the years, even before I started modeling, I always had a heart for children and the old people. So I always found a way whenever I came back to Kampala to work, I'd go with tiny little things for those kids, because the smallest thing can really impact a life of a child from a disadvantaged family. And also I grew up from a disadvantaged family, and I've grown up seeing people bless me in exceeding way. I've seen people do things for me that really changed my life. And so I started that foundation to give hope to those young kids, to give hope to the disadvantaged kids. When you go to the village, you find that most kids get married at the age of 14, get married at the age of 15, and it's really sad and stuff. And reason being because they haven't seen life on the outside world. They haven't seen kindness.
And they don't have the right mentors. They don't have people talking to them.
Exactly. So that foundation is to just teach those kids from a younger age to believe in themselves, to believe in the power of miracles, to know that there is generosity outside there, people love them, and they can be able to grow into responsible children.
Do you believe diversity in fashion is really kicking off at the moment?
I feel compared to the later years, it is doing the diversity is really moving on forth really nicely and more effectively, but I still feel there's still so much to be done.
Sure.
There's still so much to be done, because at the end of the day, I think the fashion industry should put aside the fact of colors or height and first look at models and even agents or workers as humans. Because the moment we look at ourselves as humans, the things that set us apart, the things that make us different will move aside, and later the industry will be more inclusive. Because when they talk about diversity and inclusivity, I want Christian models to be included.
Nice.
Let them not only talk about color, let them not talk about size. I want a Christian model to go on set and say, I cannot shoot nudity. And I want to be embraced without being questioned or without being told that, oh, you are a model that is hard to work with. When I can't shoot in a really revealing bikini, I want to be included. I want to be respected. I know it's being done with the Islam models and the hijab models, but it's not the only category.
Sure.
They are Christian models. We come from different traditions.
Yes.
I am a teacher, and modesty is something that is so paramount in my profession. It's not that, once I become a model, I forget about all these things. There are so many kids that look up to me.
Absolutely.
So when they talk of diversity, I dream of an industry that really includes.
Joy, what do you think makes a great model like you? Because so many people have different perceptions altogether. They think I have to be tall, I have to be this, I have to, what do you think makes a great model that will transcend borders and be able to, have the same platform like you, working in New York, Paris, London, and Milan?
So what makes a great model, according to me, is being so resilient and
Resilience.
Resilience and loving who you are. Standing by who you are, loving who you are, and being consistent. Because if God called you into something that is it may not work out now, but it will definitely work out. If you are not consistent, if you are not patient, if you are not smart, like you need to work smart.
Absolutely.
If you don't book this show, look at why you didn't book it and go back home and work so hard to make sure the next time you return, it's a yes. So what makes a great model is being consistent, being resilient, and knowing who you are, being so proud of how you look like.
Because I'm sure every single day they're comparing you to someone else. They're telling you, oh, you need to have this, and that actually brings me back to the subject of, rejection and then mental health.
Exactly.
Have you ever been mentally, drained in this business? And then how do you handle, so that brings me back to a lot of questions that so many people have been, asking us. What's your definition of beauty? Because we've been talking about beauty, we've been talking about loving yourself. What is beauty?
Beauty for me is having the confidence to embrace your imperfections and perfections and making them work for you. That is true beauty. If you are feeling like insecure about your imperfections and you only want to look at the good side, then that's not beauty. Beauty comes in the imperfections. And over the years, I have learned to embrace myself and compare myself with me. And outcompete myself with me. Looking at the things that people think are not good about me and holding them up all together and pronouncing them out until they reconsider their first impression.
Beauty. I love your definition of beauty. You are like a beauty guru when it comes to skincare routine, hair care routine, name it all. How do you keep your skin rejuvenated and glowing like that? Because I know someone is about to ask, how does she keep the skin glowing like that? Everyone says that. Everyone says take a long time. Tell us the secret.
Okay, so for me, I used not to have a skincare routine, but later in the years I realized, okay, I needed to have one. And for me, I usually keep it at a first stage. I love to cleanse my face really well. After cleansing, I treat my face. After treatment, I moisturize and then sunscreen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cleanse, treat, moisturize,
sunscreen.
and then sunscreen. Just take me through that state of treating, because I understand the other stage. How do you treat your face?
Okay, so there are different products you can use for treating our faces according to the needs of your skin. Maybe sometimes your skin is dry, so you need to use a treatment that will pump in the moisture. Or sometimes, like as you age, you may get fine lines, so you need a retinol that will help like keep your skin, your face young.
Right now. Hallelujah.
Your skin young and like bright, or discoloration. So according to your skin need, that's where the treatment comes in, you get. So that treatment is always great, like actually in the evenings after like the day you're going to sleep, and then after that cleansing you treat with the need that you face. Yeah. If you've been like having pimples and stuff, so you get a treatment that does that and treat it, then moisturize nicely, and in the night you don't need sunscreen. Yeah, so in the night, yeah. So in the night, it's basically a 3-step: cleanse, treat, moisturize.
Amazing.
Then during day, you can actually skip the treat and just do like cleanse, moisturize, sunscreen. So that is what works for me.
Amazing. It takes a lot of work to be an international supermodel. Thank you so much, Joy, for spending your time with us and for being on the show as well. And on behalf of JNM and the entire team, we adore you and we're so thankful. Thank you for literally bringing food on our table, because if you guys aren't working, there's no way we can pay the bills. So thank you very much for everything that you do and for being hardworking, for being patient, for being loyal, because I need some people to, they change. The minute they leave, they're just gonna be like, you know what?
Bye.
Like out of the window. So before you leave, what final words do you have for the viewers out there? What do you want to tell them?
Okay, so I want to tell someone out there that you are beautiful just the way you are, and you are your own standard of beauty, and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. And what is for you will always be for you, no matter how long it takes, no matter where you are at. Your blessing will find you, and be ready to grab it, and don't look back. Look back to, I don't mean like don't look back at where you come from, but don't look back at not grabbing the opportunity. At any point in life marks the start of something new. And if God called you for it, there is room for you. Thank you.
Amazing. Those were very powerful words coming in from the supermodel herself. Yes, I know most of you must be like, supermodel, yes, she's a supermodel. Aketch Joy Winnie, thank you so much, and we wish you all the best. Go out there and shine and take over the universe.
Like the morning sunshine.
Yes! I learned so much from these young girls that have morphed into international fashion models. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the show. I know most of you must be like, oh my God, Joram, we need more, but subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button, and tell everyone that the Star Maker airs literally every week. Every week we do give you an episode. My name is Joram and you are watching the Star Maker. See you next week.